Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, the 25th of May. Another week begins, and a warm welcome to all of you. I was struck in the readings today, Deuteronomy 4 and 2 Corinthians 1, the latter part of those respective chapters, and the fact that today we remember a man known as the Venerable Bede. Goes way back in the history of the Christian church in England. And what struck me in the readings was the call by the authors of those books, presumably Moses for Deuteronomy, and of course Paul in the second letter to the Corinthian church. And their call to us to remain obedient and focused on God. And there's a sense to me in which we do that in the big things, by obeying God, doing those big objects and requirements that God asks of us, but also in the little things. Perhaps it's the way that we express our faith or express our friendship to other folk, the language that we use, the kind of books and pictures and magazines that we look at. It's those little things that are important and would entail us leaving or not leaving a legacy when we eventually die, not being or being a good witness. The choice in effect is ours. Will we be a good witness, or will we have been a bad witness to those around us, our family, our children, our spouses, our peers? And then, of course, coming to the Venerable Bede, a title of distinction given to him after his death because of the profound impact he had on that early church. Some of the backstory is that at about 7 years of age, still a kid, he was taken to a monastery, and where he was then encloistered. And he stayed in that monastery for the rest of his life. I'm not sure that he ever left the gates or the doors of the monastery. That's quite something. But the legacy that he left in his calm, quiet faithfulness and dedication to his Lord, of whose existence he was absolutely convinced. And he wrote a number of books. One of them, the history of the English people of the time, or the church in England at the time, is still one of the most read books, giving us the background and the history of early Christianity in England. But of the other books that he wrote, many of them were used as set work, course books in the schools that followed for a very long time thereafter. This quiet, humble man left a lasting legacy, and we still speak of him and remember him with reverence, not praying to him and worshiping him, but remembering the incredible example that he left for us, going back all those many, many years ago. What legacy will you leave? What legacy will we leave? We may not be such that we can write books and they'll become set work in the years to come, but perhaps we can have that influence on our family, our children, our spouses, our peers, in the simple things of, for example, being committed to go to church or to participate in a worship service, even if it is just online on a Sunday morning, and it's set as something which is important and holy. It becomes a discipline, and that example does rub off on others. They may moan and groan and laugh a little, but it rubs off on them, and something, I believe, something indelible is left in their psyche. What legacy will you leave in the world around you by the way that you live, and by the way that you talk, and by the display of your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ as God incarnate, God in human form on earth? So folks, quite a challenging question, but one I think that is quite easy for us to answer. Just do the best you can with what you have. In a sense, the Venerable Bede did that. He realized that this was his new home, and he made the best of the situation, probably never leaving that monastery, and yet having had such an incredible impact. Folks, what impact will you have on the world around you? Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat again tomorrow. God bless.